Currently, completing a master's degree in national security policy at American Military University. She has a bachelor's degree in management from the U.S. Air Force Academy. She's currently assigned to the Air Combat Command Commanders Action Group at the U.S. Air Force Air Warfare Center at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. Later this year, she will be stationed on Capitol Hill as a legislative fellow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Major Nicole Malachowski, United States Air Force.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'll tell you what, it is absolutely fabulous to be here. Thank you very much, General Daly. Thanks to everybody here at the National Air and Space Museum, in particular, Dick Daso, Alex Spencer, Dorothy Cochran, and Jean DeStefano. Without their encouragement, support, and invitation, I certainly wouldn't be here. Also, thanks to GE for everything they've done to keep this lecture series going where it is. It's just amazing for me to be here tonight. I want to make sure I point out my most perfect husband, Paul, of 6.5 years, here in the front row. Without his support and encouragement, I would not be where I am today, and I certainly would have never had the courage to apply for the Air Force Thunderbirds, and so I really believe I owe everything to him. And I'm actually just greasing the skids because he's flipping the slides tonight, so I want to make sure that those things, actually go right. And as I look out across this audience, I see so many people that I recognize, a lot of great Air Force friends, which to me basically means family. My parents are in all the way from, hey, I just saw you in the front row. My parents are in all the way from California, way back there. Hi, Mom and Dad. Alex Quaid, so many wonderful people that knew me back when I was a lieutenant that can tell you some great stories sitting up here in the front row. And I just can't thank all of you enough for what you've done for me, because I am standing here because of the support and encouragement of all of you. So thank you very much. Now, it's obviously an honor to be standing here in this great building. I think we would all agree that this is a monument to aviation. This place has an ability to inspire. This place has an ability to really change people's lives. And in fact, for me, it did change my life. And I really consider the Air and Space Museum hallowed ground. And I think that you guys would agree with me. 20 years ago, or maybe a little bit more, my family took us on a vacation here to the Air and Space Museum. I was a little gal running around, wanted to be a fighter pilot since I was 5 years old. And with the encouragement of my family, we all came out here to check out, of course, the monument to aviation. And of course, I'm, the 12-year-old girl. I was pretty hyper back then. I'm still a little bit hyper today. That's just my personality. But I've got my notepad, and I've got my pen and paper, and I'm ready to go. And it's like each corner you turn, it's like something new and exciting. From Leonardo da Vinci to Sally Ride and everything in between, I had to contain my excitement and make sure I wasn't actually running through the museum, because I'm certain my parents would have grabbed me and stopped me there. But my idea of taking notes was because I was going to give a presentation to my 6th grade class on the history of aviation and why I was going to be an Air Force fighter pilot someday and how I was going to make that happen. And so, of course, in 6th grade, that meant standing in front of each and every display and word for word writing everything down with meticulous detail. It certainly was not by any means efficient, but it was definitely effective. And I was able to go back to my class that day, following the trip, if you will, and give my presentation on the history of aviation, and only to be told by my teacher at that time, and he was true and correct and factual, that women are not allowed to be fighter pilots. Well, this was not okay to me. It didn't even faze me, though, a bit, because I thought, well, I'm not going to let Congress stop me from being a fighter pilot. And so I continued to press forward with that dream, thanks to the support, again, of my friends and family. And so all of these things along the way, all of these people and these events and experiences are why I'm here. So coming to the Smithsonian 20-something years ago made a difference in my life. It's where I realized that aviation was about courage. I realized aviation was about confidence. Aviation was about achieving your dreams. And aviation is about taking chances to achieve things that no one else has done before. And it really is hallowed ground. And I know a lot of you are here tonight you hear me talk about being the first female Thunderbird pilot. The first female Thunderbird pilot. And that's a label. And that's a label that you'll see as I progress through this. It took me some time to learn how to wear. And I'm still trying to come to grips, I guess, with that concept of making history or being a first. And I'll be honest with you, it's surreal, and I don't have my arms around it to this point. But by the end of this speech, I hope you realize that being a Thunderbird is a heck of a lot more than flying in air shows. It's about being a part of something much bigger than yourself. It's about having the opportunity to travel across this great country, every corner, and to meet people and learn and understand the American experience and the American story. And for those of you who are really paying attention on that picture, there's actually 6 aircraft. I think my friend Dallas Horton is here. He's the slot pilot. He's up there covering up the number 1 aircraft, so you can you can blame it on him. Hey, Dallas. So my point is, this American story is an amazing thing. I've just been so reinvigorated. Look around you. The people to your left and to your right, everyone has a story. We all have value. We all have something important to share. And you never know who you are sitting next to or what kind of story or value that person has. And so the greatest gift that I carry forward with me from this Thunderbird experience is those stories. And so I want to share some of those with you tonight, of the people that I've met along the way, a little funny stories from my experience as a Thunderbird. And then at the end, I'd really like to hear your stories and answer any kind of questions that you may have for me. And most of my friends know I can talk, and I can answer questions all night long. So I'm here to help you guys. But it's because of those experiences, it's because of the Smithsonian and all those things that came together that got me to this place, this life-altering, if you will, moment in time. And my dream did, in fact, start at a California air show when I was just 5 years old. I'm not trying to make my mom cry or anything. I'm putting this picture up here for a purpose. One, I got this haircut because I wanted my haircut like Olivia Newton-John. But secondly, this is the face of the gal that grew up to be an Air Force officer. And this is the face of a young lady who grew up to fly the world's greatest fighter aircraft. And this is the face of the little girl that grew up to be America's first female military jet demonstration team pilot. And what you need to get from this picture is this is the face that you see sitting in the audience, these young people up here, Caroline and Lauren, my friends in the front seat. This is the face of the kid you pass on the street every day. So remember the importance of encouraging and the power of your words and supporting young people's dreams. Because if my parents had said no, or my teacher had said no, or the people along the way had said no, I wouldn't be standing here. And I did. I went to an air show at the age of 5, the F-4 Phantom. A lot of you probably know what that is my dream plane. I will fly it someday. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I have to. I saw this plane flying, and it was powerful, and it was loud, and it was high speed, and the technology, and it flew low, and I couldn't believe it. And I came from a very patriotic family where I knew at a young age it was okay to wear your nation's uniform, and that it was an honorable and a noble thing. Well, snap, you put that together with the F-4 Phantom, and this gal was going to be a fighter pilot. And that's where it all happened. And as a teenager, my idea of the great Christmas gift was anything that had to do with aviation. I put this in here for General Daly, so at the age of 12, I still have the Olivia Newton-John haircut. But I put this in here because, even if it was a Navy F-18, it was still worth, going on my wall, or a Marine Corps F-18 up there. But I remember going in high school, going to prom and stuff, and instead of a guy bringing me a corsage, if he really wanted me to go out to date with him, he would, no joke, and you can ask my parents, bring me like a poster or something that had to do with aviation. And I was like, okay, if you give me a new poster of an F-15 or something I don't have, we'll go. So, like I said, I remember telling my parents, I'm going to be a fighter pilot. And, there were some people along the way that said women can't do that, this or that. But I learned from a young age that you let people into the sphere of influence of your life, and you choose what kind of influences that you want. And so with my type A personality, which most fighter pilots are, along with the love of my family, I was able to stay motivated on this track. And in high school, I joined the junior ROTC. Those are huge mall bangs, lots of aerosol hairspray, and a lot of hair dryer. I was in Air Force Junior ROTC and also a wonderful organization called the Civil Air Patrol, and I know we've got some of those people out there today. Great to see you guys. I would highly recommend these organizations to any young person looking for a career in the military, a career in aviation, or young people who just want to learn what it means to be a great American. And so that's all I have to say about that.